This is Mark Carrington from My Bitcoin Profits. You'll remember last week we talked about sitting on my hands on a Bitcoin trade. So let's have a look and see what's going on. The chart in front of you is the Bitcoin dollar. It's a daily, and it's the chart I left off last time. And you'll remember the question we had is we had a triangle that was formed here, and it was which way to trade, and I decided that I was going to sit on my hands. And what I was really concerned about is the last high. That's this one here, was a lower high compared to that one. The MACD, which is this momentum indicator, was bearish, i.e. it was below zero. There's bearish divergence showing on the momentum indicators. That basically means is that we have, for these two highs here, we had lower highs here, and there was a potential, there's a risk of a double top. So these two highs here are a double top, so that one, and the potential head and shoulders forming. So what has happened? Well, what has happened is that the price has continued to track sideways. So I'm going to clear the picture and let's see what has actually happened in the last week. What we've got is that we've broken out of the bottom of the triangle, and what we're looking for as a trader to trade short, and these indicators, this momentum indicator here certainly would suggest a short. Although I'm concerned about trading short with this uptrend, we'd look for it to break down like this. Let's do it with arrows. Be consistent with what we've done. We'll break down like this, which it's done. Pull back to the uptrend line that it's broken down, and then trade down from there. That's what we would like to trade if we were to think about trading it short. But it's actually not done that. It is broken down, and it is now wandering along, creating lower highs and higher lows. So pretty well all that's going on is that we have a different shape of triangle. So it's broken out of the triangle and it's now still in this compressed zone. So from my point of view as a trader, I am certainly going to continue to sit on my hands. We've got some horizontal levels here. So what I'll be looking for is I'll be looking for a change in direction in this MACD indicator. I do have support from the stochastic indicator. I'd like to see it break out of this band here, so to hit into the purple band, and then to be looking for the trade long somewhere here. What I quite like is it's getting close to this uptrend line. If that coincides with that uptrend line, there might be enough space for a trade from there to that downtrend line, and there may be enough for a trade there, although that's a little bit uncomfortable. Now you'll remember I talked about the relationship to the Chinese yuan, the Chinese currency. And remember that last time we talked, the Chinese currency was in its triangle. And once the data loads up, we will actually see, hopefully we'll see the triangle on this chart. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong chart. No wonder it's not going to work. I'm looking at the Bitcoin against the China chart. Well, let's just pop back to that, because this is basically what we see here is exactly the same situation. This is the Bitcoin against the Chinese currency. We're seeing exactly the same situation. What I was wanting to look at was to look at the US dollar against the Chinese currency. So this is USD CNH. And we'll remember our chart last time is we saw the rising higher lows. We actually got a break out of that triangle, and I thought that would indicate a pressure on the Bitcoin price, but it did not transpire, because this is what we call a false break. And today, for the first time in what is this? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 days. Yesterday we saw the first inkling of a break above that price, this line that I'd drawn in here. Let's just blow this up a bit. You'll see there's the close is there, and this line I'd drawn in, it was there. So it's the first break up, and there we have got a strong move forward today. So the holders of Chinese currency have become uncomfortable, and they are now starting to sell. So I would expect to see the Bitcoin to start moving this way today, but it has not been doing that. It has basically tracked pretty well sideways in a tight range. So where does that leave us? And I'm going to just do something a little bit different here. I'm going to go back to a Bitcoin price. I'm using a different exchange here, but that's not a problem. And I'm going to put a weekly chart on, and this is where I'm looking to trade. What I've done on the weekly chart is, you see, we've got the uptrend, which I've drawn in. We've got several touches here. And I've drawn in a Fibonacci, and the Fibonacci goes from this low here, because it broke down here, so this is the last reversal, up to this high here. Maybe I'll just draw it for you so you can actually see how that works. So I've done this, so it's from this low here, and we've gone to those highs there, and my horizontal line is in here, is picking up this last reversal, which is the reversal we've just drawn that thing from. Sorry, it's the last reversal down here, and I've put in the rectangle here between 0.6 and 0.786, and this is, for me, is the buying zone, and it coincides with that uptrend line. So I will be looking for appropriate price action at this horizontal level in this buying zone to be going long. And what gives me a little bit of confidence there is that on the weekly, the MACD momentum indicator is above zero. Yeah, it is turned below, so it's giving us a sell signal, but we're waiting for it to come around and to turn up like this. And the stochastic should by then have reached all the way down into here, and then we'll be turning. So that's what I'll be looking for a long trade on the Bitcoin. Otherwise, I am not trading it at all. Thanks very much. Good day.